Hello everyone, this is Mini Ninja speaking. We're going to call this a bit of a more of a bootleg breakdown extra rather than a proper episode, on account that I can't really call this a proper bootleg of the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Gogeta figure from the Broly movie set, due to how many things are wrong with it. Namely, as we take a quick look at the height check here, it's going to be about 6¼ inches tall, just so you know on that one. There are many things going off right off the bat. In fact, I actually had to shoot this particular video and put the footage together in a kind of a mixed order because the figure was falling apart right inside of that clamshell, which is all it really shifted in my case. Namely, that's because you're going to see in a second, the figure is not particularly well assembled. First off, what the heck is going on with those hips? Either that or the waist is very narrow, or a combination of the both, really. Quick articulation check, you can kind of see the head is absolutely wobbly mess. Doesn't work at all. The shoulders will pop out right away on account that the butterfly joints don't move. Which is weird because they look like they should. Torso falls off right away because that whole abdomen area is done incorrectly. Not only is it a solid chunk, it is a misshapen solid chunk. So it's not even casted correctly from when they were trying to copy it. As you can see, the hips, while they're based off 2.0, they're absolutely wrong. The legs themselves, you can't tell this in person, but they are crudely painted over because the actual skin color, or the actual tone of them, is skin color. And also, those aren't Gogeta legs, just for the record. Those are Goku legs. In terms of the arm articulation, technically everything is functioning as it should, although the wrist joints, as you can see, are sticking out like a sore thumb. They haven't been installed correctly, or the opening hasn't made deep enough. And the shoulder covers associated with Gogeta there are absolutely made in the wrong material, and the little hinge that they have in there feels like it could break off at any moment. The hairpiece, wrong neck joint, and the actual hair itself is misshapen. It doesn't actually fit in the other faces well enough, which is why we're actually going to be skipping that part, and honestly, I'm skipping the accessory check altogether on this particular video because it's so much of it doesn't work that it's not worth looking at. I'll be totally frank with you. Now, taking a little look further into the shoulder bit, as we kind of hop between footage here and there, it kind of noticed that once you actually remove those little shoulder covers, the butterfly joints actually start working again. And the reason for that is because the shoulder openings themselves are much too tight. The upper torso, while being relatively close in scale to the actual official figure, surprisingly enough, is still slightly undersized, which makes these shoulder covers, frankly, much too snug. It doesn't actually give it enough room to make the proper turn. As I mentioned, of course, the abdomen area, even when you manage to get a push in there, as soon as you start moving around, it'll be a very visible gap, which is normally covered a little bit by the vest, which is also notably shorter on this bootleg than it should be, but also because it's misshapen, it falls apart right away. Heck, even when you remove going back to the shoulders a second, just a very crude demonstration of it working, even when you do manage to get the butterfly joints working, the actual shoulder bits still pop out a lot. There's just something weird going on there. I'd probably suggest switching out the bits altogether if you have to have the spare parts for it. Here's a proper side-by-side. Ignore the fact that it's a Super Saiyan hair on the Gogeta over there. That's from the accessory bit that are from the maniacal fit. But as you can kind of start seeing there is some rather obvious things going wrong there. Like the pants, like I said, are completely wrong. And those knees are a different color, by the way. I don't even know what the boots come from at the point. Those don't come from any official thing. I was thinking first that they might be Tin Shin Han boots from one of the releases, but they don't even match that, so I have no idea where it's coming from. Of the 3 most recent bootlegs I have around here, this one manages to somehow be the worst. And that's with the other ones having assorted breakages, believe it or not. This is still the worst one of the lot. Now, if I can find some parts in my parts bin for it, maybe I could do something here. But that's for another time. See you later.